himself or his little wife, baby girl. Done well. Done real well. Maybe too good.
Yeah,
maybe too good.
Town was growing then.
Quiet! Alright. So here's this, what is it, GMP? Whatever. It turns out that's what this is, but the guy that bought it, that didn't like it, pulled the pickups it came with, which is, you know, DiMarzio, Distortion, and PAF, or DP100, or whatever you want to call them. He pulled the pots out. He pulled everything out. He put, I think this is a junk, this is a licensed, it's a Floyd Rose. It says there's a Floyd Rose with it. And I haven't gotten around to, well, what I'm waiting for is my guy to call me so he can fix it. Right there, it is totally out of, it needs a total setup. So that's why I need to buy, I just go with, you know, there's guys that swear by, like the guy, you know, the guy that knows a lot about guitars, he looks one way, one eye's looking at you and the other eye's looking that way. Beep! But he was like friends with Eddie and he knows all these people. He's a really good guitar player, knows a lot about everything. I can't remember his name, but I subscribe to his YouTube channel. And What did he say? What was I going to say about his eyes, though? What? Something about, gosh dang it, I can't remember now. Whatever. But, oh yeah, no, it wasn't him. It was another guy, another doofus on YouTube that buys really cheap guitars or Chinese guitars and then guts them and then puts all new stuff in them, and they're not bad. I mean, I've done that myself. And it's pretty good, but to me it would always be gnawing in the back of my, oh, it's not real. But the two that I bought, and you got to get them off DH Gate, and you got to get them from a certain distributor. He works for Gibson or Epiphone, or one of the two, and they make these are all, you know, B stock. So there's nothing really wrong with them except for like a blemish or something stupid. So they can't send them back to America. They're supposed to just destroy them. But instead they put junk pickups and junk electronics and everything and sell it on, well, it used to be like, I think I bought a Rick Nielsen Explorer, $175. It was so good, I bought another one, and that one I got in 3 pieces. It was not a good deal, so I stopped buying them. But I had this guy that told me about it. He was the one that designed the 5 factories for Gibson in Asia. And I would just say, dude, get me this, and get me this. And he would do it, and I'd give him like $200 or $300. Sometimes nothing, like $50, sometimes nothing. And I'd meet him at a gas station. But he showed me all sorts of pictures and him doing stuff, and him, you know, and he was building something in Burbank down here for NBC when they used to be here. But the action is so friggin' high. It's like you gotta press down and then try to play this friggin' thing. And if you do that, you will sound out of tune all the time. All the time, because if you got to press down, I don't know if you can see it. And I played this a while ago, and it sounds, but the pickups suck, so it doesn't matter. This thing would be a badass guitar if it had the right pickups and friggin' bridge. These are good guitars. The GM, this is the one that the company that made it for Zach and Cece. Cece's got a couple of their guitars, actually. Cece DeVille, Poison. Okay, so this is, alright. So last year I got in a little trouble. Not my fault, falsely accused, but I went straight. They sent me to friggin' LA County Jail, and I got thrown in a cell with a white supremacist guy. And he's, in there, snorting meth out of a guy's butt. I mean, the guy's butt wasn't there, but the guy smuggled it in his butt. And I go, dude, doesn't it smell like ass? He goes, yeah, well, he's... And I'm like, dude, you're that friggin' desperate that you're doing meth? They got in here in a guy's caboose. Yes, he will. Everybody did, apparently. Not me. Because I don't do that stuff anyways. So we were cellmates. It was just me and him. I was on the top bunk because I was a newbie. And we're talking. He's like, so what'd you do when you were young, man? Blah, 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 blah. Talking. I'm like, well, I was in a band. We toured around. Oh, really? My uncle was in a band. Oh, really? Who? Well, I'm sure you heard of him. Try to guess. I'm like, I don't know, Motley Crue. No. Close. I'm like, close? Close? I go, you ever heard of Fatal Attraction? He goes, everybody says that. Sounds familiar. How about Trick or Treat? That sounds familiar too. No. Those are my bands. But what are they thinking of? My band or the movie? Trick or Treat, my band, the influence for the movie was from my band. The drummer's girlfriend worked for the movie company that put out Trick or Treat the movie. They came to see us play. They wouldn't use us because none of us were actors, but they hired, that Sammy Kerr guy, whoever played Sammy Kerr. And he did a very good job ripping off our singer, Mandy Lyon. And eventually and that's why we got the Capitol deal so quick, because the movie was pretty good. It did okay. And then we were gonna ride on that, and then we already had a tour booked with Motorhead. We were gonna open for Motorhead in Japan. I don't even know if we would have survived that. And then come back, record the album. We were gonna record 4 songs, put them out. Japan, come back, record the album, and then go out on tour. And I'm like, this is great. But we would have died of heroin. Because that was really going around a lot. And I was just, I was snorting it, and I was smoking it, but that was it. And my bass player, Tony, if you buy the CD cover, if you buy the CD, you'll see him on the cover playing bass. He was getting very close, but he was way more into coke and, crack and rocking it up and stuff, so anyways, I'm talking to this idiot. He's my cellmate for the little while that I was in there. While I was fighting this case, a bunch of friggin' liberal idiots. Okay, a bunch of idiots down there in LA. So, I'm trying to guess. I'm like, I don't know. I go, there's a couple bands I really don't like, so I'll just start with them. Poison. He goes, yeah. I'm like, oh no. Okay, look. I gotta listen. I like CC. He bought a Warlock. It's a guitar. So he used to call me Warlock. So CC's cool. He goes, oh, I never met him. But my uncle is Rikki Rockett. Okay, the thing I have against Rikki Rockett is he had a big-ass crush on my first wife. And he used to write her letters, and I didn't know that my first wife's fat-ass friend, who actually got so fat she had to be cut out of her house, that fat. So, and one of my guitar players in Stiletto, oh my gosh, he was with her, how horrifyingly desperate. But anyways, I'm like, you're kidding me. So your friggin' uncle is Rikki Rockett. So I told him a story. That, yeah, I was chasing him around. I was in heels. He was in heels. We weren't going to catch each other because we're both in heels. We're both glam. And I was totally into glam. And this was like 85 or something like that. I think it was 84. 84, 85, I don't remember. So, yeah, and when he found out that she was married, he bugged off. And that was that. But something about Rikki Rockett I just don't like. So, when I was telling you that I got popped, not popped, but brought in on no charges like last week or the week before. And when they were bringing me down there, you know, and they, like I said, I was talking to the one cop about all the band stuff, and the guy's like, "Oh, you know, this guy was in a band. Didn't you say you're a sparring partner where you do karate or kung jung fung jung was in a band?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, watch. I know who's coming." So I go, "You're kidding me, really? What band was he in? Who is he?" He goes, "Well, I'll show you his picture and you tell me." And he showed me a picture, and they're both in their little, you know, their cute little, you know, karate outfits, or karate, as SpongeBob would say. And guess who it was? Rikki friggin' faggot. I mean, Rockett. Sorry about it. I don't want to be fag. Like I said, my best friend, my brother Tony, gayer than... There was no one gayer than that boy. And he's no longer with us. And I love him. Not in that way, like a brother. So anyways, it's so funny. What does the world come to? We're like, you know, you're teaching your kids weird-ass, stupid stuff and about sex stuff that they don't even need to know about because they're too young to even have to think about that crap. Really? Really? Anyway, I'm not going to get off track. So isn't that weird? So, two people, and they both have to do with me getting arrested for something that I never did. Or didn't do, or whatever. Blah, 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 blah. And that little twit is always involved somehow with the people that I get stuck with. Rikki Rockett. Like I said, I love CC. He's a very nice guy. He usually always has to think for a minute because he did a lot of drugs. Way more than me. And Brett Michaels, very nice guy too. Very nice. Don't know a thing about the friggin' bass player. I talked to him once. And my friend bought like 4 bass cabinets off him that are somewhere. I don't know where they are. But they all say Doll on the back. Like Bobby Doll, not like Carrie Doll, which is D-O-L-L. I don't know how Bobby Doll spells his name. Whatever. So that's that. Feedback, can't do it. This is going to be a bad guitar when I get it fixed up. When I get this and that taken care of. And these. Well, that. Alright, there you go. And yeah, I always put I like this pentagram thing you get from Hell Guitars. Tell them I sent you and they'll give you a no discount. Alright, so we know this mic works. Hopefully, it did last night, or whenever I did it last time, so we know it works. Isn't that great? That means I don't have to buy another one right now. But I just found another little Marshall combo, so I'm going to try to sneak it in here and fix it up so we can get a stereo thing running again. Won't sound like it used to, but it'll be close enough. Right?